This is the intro video for Algebra 1, Section 1.7. We're going to be looking at exponents here in this video, and then later on in this we'll be looking, not here on the video, but in class we'll be looking at order of operations. Okay, so let's start off by looking at the parts of an exponential expression. This might seem like kind of a minor thing, but it's actually pretty important. So we've got, the way we would read this is 4 to the 5th, or you could say 4 to the 5th power, 4 to the power of 5. But that kind of language in this notation here establishes these two things. The 4 is what we call the base. It's the lower number, as far as like physically the location is lower. And then the 5 is the exponent. And so it's going to be really key that later on we realize what the base is and what the exponent is. And usually it's identifying what the base is going to be the key to being able to figure out what to do. Of course, 4 to the 5th means this. 4 times itself 5 times. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. We can multiply that out if we want. We could use a calculator. There's a variety of things we could do with that, but it's really important that we understand the meaning of it. 4 to the 5th is 4 times itself 5 times. The base is 4, the exponent is 5. Okay, so with these questions coming up, we're going to do 4 of them. If you have a good sense of exponents, maybe what you could do is pause the video, try all of these, and then play the video and see how you did. Okay, so number 1 says write the product using exponents. So we're going to take this notation right here and write it in a more compact way with exponents. So I see I've got 3 times 3. There's 2 of those 3's right there, so I would write that as 3 squared. Then I see that I've got x times x times x. There's 3 of them, so that would be written as x to the 3rd. And then there is a single y right there, so I'm going to write that as y to the 1st. I don't really have to write that 1 there. I certainly could just write it as 3 squared x cubed y. But it did say using exponents, so I think I would go with this one right here. All those bases have exponents. So the first base is 3, the second base is x, and the third base is y. You can see those exponents on there as well. Okay, so then number 2 says evaluate. So negative 2/5 to the 3rd. Let's identify this base right here. The base is negative 2/5. Right? It's not 2/5, it's negative 2/5. It's not just the 2, it's not just the 5. It's everything in the parentheses there. So the base is negative 2/5, and of course the exponent is 3. So this could be rewritten as negative 2/5 times negative 2/5, times negative 2/5. So using my properties here, I'm going to go ahead and group the first two. Negative 2/5 times negative 2/5. Well, as you remember, when we're multiplying fractions, we simply multiply the numerators together, and in this case we get 4. Multiply the denominators together. In this case we get 25, but we still have that last negative 2/5 to multiply. So our final answer would be multiplying the 4 times the negative 2, where we get negative 8, and then the 25 times the 5 is 125. That would be our evaluation on that one. Okay, now number 3 and number 4, I realize they look the same, but they are not. The key is going to be identifying what the base is and perhaps what the base is not. So in number 3, the base is negative 6, and it's being raised to the second power. So this could be rewritten as negative 6 times negative 6, and as we've been practicing, a negative times a negative is a positive, so this would equal positive 36. In number 4, you might be tempted to say that the base is negative 6, but that's not the case. The only thing that has the exponent on it is the 6. And so this, the base on number 4 is simply the 6. The negative is not included in the base. So you could think of this as the negative of, or the opposite of, 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and of course the opposite of that is negative 36. So if there's going to be a point of focus for you, I'd say numbers 3 and 4 are the ones that people will often have questions on and maybe struggle with a little bit. So focus in on those, and if you can kind of get those figured out, you'll be in great shape. If you can't, just ask a question. We can talk about it some more. Those would be the ones that I would focus on. See you next time in class.